Hello, my name is Dr. Giuseppe Paladini. I'm the founder of Stepping Bricks, and today we're going to cover a specific topic for property investing, which is how to find motivated sellers. Many times you probably heard, get a motivated seller so you can get a discount on a property. But what is a motivated seller first of all? A motivated seller is a person that owns a property and has a reason for selling it fast. So for the motivated sellers, it's not important the price, but it's important speed and certainty. These are two different things. So there are sellers that want the best price for the property and they're happy to wait on the market for long term until they get the right price for the property. However, these are not motivated sellers. They don't have a reason to move fast. So the reason to move fast becomes when you have either an issue to solve or could be a bad news or a good news. So there are about 25 reasons why a seller could be motivated. I'm going to cover a few of them in this video. So let's say, for example, there are reasons. Let's say the bad reasons first of all. Let's say they need to they split, for example, in a marriage, and they need to sell the property and they want to move out and they need to sell it fast. So if you come along and offer on the property they need to sell fast, and property has been on the market for quite a while and they cannot sell it, then they're not worried about the price they're getting. They're worried about getting the property, off their hands. So speed and certainty are the two things they're more interested in. And if you can offer these two things to the seller, then you got a deal. So one of the reasons was splitting the marriage. The good counter side of this one is, let's say, two singles, they come together and they now need to move together into a new property. So now they have two properties they need to get rid of fast so they can have the money to afford the new property together. So the both of them are motivated and they want to sell the property for good reasons because they need to move together. So that's another thing, another motivation for the seller. Before I go ahead with the other reasons, the word motivation, it comes from the etymology of the word motivation. It comes from two words. One is motive, which is a reason, and action, which is action. So a reason to take action, a reason to move. So if you have a reason to take action, that's what it compels you to take, to make a decision. And for instance, in this case, is to sell the property and accept an offer, even if it's lower than the actual value of the property. Reasons for, generic reasons for selling a property and for being a motivated seller could be a job relocation. So you got a new offer on a job, so you have a property in the previous job and then you need to sell it fast so you can buy the next one. It could be an inheritance. You got property, but you don't really know what to do with the property. You don't want to become a landlord. You don't want to hassle over all the issues and maintenance and repairs. So you want to sell it fast because it's going to cost you money to keep a property empty. Other reasons could be the tax, for example, inheritance tax and so on. So you need to get rid of the property as soon as possible. Probably the interest rate of the mortgages are too high to sustain that property, and is not nice to have all these debts, and they want to get rid of the property. Another reason could be, for example, losing the job rather than changing job. If you lose the job, you can't afford any mortgage payments, so you need to again sell the property fast and to a reliable source, a reliable buyer. And could be as well the property is never been repaired or maintained and is now very old and needs some work done to the property, maybe a new roof or a new kitchen, and you don't have the money to do these repairs. So the next option would be to sell the property before it becomes completely worthless. And again, so you have that motivation of selling the property for the right price, but mostly for the right timeline. Okay, so that's the main thing for to find motivated sellers. So as I said before, there are over 25 reasons for becoming a motivated seller. And if you, as a buyer, as a property investor, understand the reasons of the seller, then you can get a deal. But I will tell you that if you go to any random course and then you go there and offer 25% below market value, regardless of the reasons of the seller, then you're never going to get a deal. I'm 100% sure about that because I see a lot of property investors. They go there and they offer constantly 25% below market value because they want to have that buffer of equity when they remortgage and recoup all the money that they put in as a deposit. Now, if you really want to get a deal, you need to remember the property is a people business. It's not about the property, it's about the vendor. So you need to understand the vendor circumstances, because if the vendor says to you, I need to sell it fast, I don't care about the price, then you need to be in a position to complete fast. So you can either do bridging or you can buy for cash, because it's a lot faster than a standard mortgage. A standard mortgage could take 6, 8, 12 weeks, depending where you are in the country, depending which solicitor you're using. So if you want to help the vendor to get rid of the property and to pay the right price for them in the right time, then you need to understand and listen to them. They always say you have 2 ears, 1 mouth, use them in that proportion. Always listen more than you talk. Are there a few good reasons for becoming a motivated seller? For example, if you're moving abroad, then you want to get rid of the property in the UK or in the country where you're living, and you need to sell it fast because you want to buy your next property. Other reasons could not be good but bad. For example, you have bad tenants or bad neighbors, like 2 different reasons, and you cannot really rent this property anymore because you have bad neighbors and it's not a profitable business anymore, so you want to sell it. And the bad tenants, of course, if you had bad experiences because you were not educated or because you didn't screen the tenants correctly, or just because the tenants were what they are, you can't control everybody, unfortunately. In that case, then you're a tired landlord, you don't want to deal with tenants anymore, you don't want to do service accommodation where you deal with guests instead of tenants, then you want to sell it fast, and that's another reason to be a motivated seller. Now, as a property investor, remember, I said in the beginning, listen to the vendor, but also understand the plan for solving that problem. Because if you don't have a plan to solve the problem of the vendor, then why are you there? So there's no point in you going to speak to a vendor if you don't have the means to buy the property and the means to solve their problem. Remember, your worth is based on the amount of problems you can solve for the vendor or the landlord. So if you want a good deal, you need to have a solution readily available for the vendor so they can trust you and they can sell the property with you, and they can move on with their life. If you want to learn more about property, we have a club, which is a subscription. It's only £49 a month, and we meet every single week online, and we can answer any questions you have. You have a form that you can fill in every single week, and we can answer all the questions you have in property investing. Whether you're a complete beginner or a professional property investor, this club is right for you. There is a link below in the comments. Click there, register, and then I'll see you every week in the club sessions. I hope you enjoyed. My name is Dr. Giuseppe Paladini, founder of Stepping Bricks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.